with that in mind, no pun intended, after you've done this first deal by yourself, breaking even, happy, maybe having some end of light tunnel visions as far as getting out of corporate America and doing this more so full time? Where'd you take it after doing that first deal by yourself?
Sure. The fix and flip business was then first, right, on my agenda. So I literally, after that moment, had to learn what rules do I have to set for myself. I'm a huge rule guy. You have to be as a banker. So where are my buy rules going to be? And I cannot go outside of these rules because I can't afford to lose any money. I don't have money to lose. I don't have the credit anymore. I couldn't do any of that. So that one rehab and learning about construction and learning about numbers and learning what people were looking for and learning how to work with contractors, that became like my launch point to, doing 6 and then 12 and then 30 and then up to, 80 and 90 and 100 deals a year. It doesn't mean we kept up that pace, but when you get to that point, like in scaling, I did not know how to scale until the 5 years ago when I set the core values in place. So it was me with like an office assistant and then a marketing assistant. And that helped me grow to a certain level. And then I realized, that you need people around you if you're going to succeed. And not only do you need people around you, you need to look out for the well-being of everyone around you as the team, right? Like the team mindset was so different from me. And I had, a disease. I attribute this to Jake and Gino on their podcast. They call it the IMA disease. Like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this and control, right? Like, especially with losing all that money, those first few, I had 5 hard resets in my real estate world. And a lot of them were not real estate related. A lot of them were personal that they morphed into my real estate business. And the biggest accomplishment I think I can say that I've had is every time you have one of those resets, how quick can you reframe and get back up? And what did you learn? Like, how quick can you reframe, get back up? And if you can go from what my first, 4 months head in the sand, like, woe is me, like my life is over, like I'm only, early 20s and I don't have any cash credit and I'm like 540,000, I think, in debt. Like, that took me 4 months. And now, not to say it feels any differently when you're going through it, right? Because it's always a shit show, but a divorce, right? Like, I'll just go through that and be vulnerable. Like last year I went through one of the hardest things in my life, a 12-month, it was really a 4-year battle, but a 12 months of like the harshest battle that I've ever had. And the fact remains is it was about process for me after a while. Like, I can let this bother me. I can let this affect and impact every single other side of my business, of my kids, of my relationships, of my mindset in the morning, but I don't have to let that happen. Right? I don't have to let that happen. And what can I do on a day-to-day basis that brings me to move the needles that actually matter in my world, my relationships, my own mindset, and ultimately what can move the needle in my business if I can just focus on being present in my business?